Hi guys, welcome to this video, and if you have not watched the first video in this series that I'm trying to do here, it's with Serral versus sOs, game 1 at Blizzcon finals. Go ahead and watch that one, but either way, if you don't want to, just watch this one and we'll see what happens in this game. Previous game, don't want to spoil it. If you haven't watched it, just go check it out. It was quite quick. You'll see what happens over there. I believe most of you who were watching this have probably seen the BlizzCon finals, but yeah, if you want to watch these replays by yourself, go head over to, I think I'll put the link in the description if I remember where to find it. Yeah, just go ahead to the WCS website and you can get the replays for yourself. And it's quite awesome from them by Blizzard to provide us with these replays. So this is game 2 in the group stage match at the WCS Global Finals. The point of these replays, or the point of these videos, are for me to learn more about the playstyles that we had in the previous patch, but they also obviously overflow into this new patch because some of the playstyles stick. It's not as if the whole meta has shifted, just in certain matchups though. So anyway, without further ado, we're watching sOs. He went for the typical gateway opening at his natural. Only one probe in gas, which means he's not going tech heavy if he's not going for a tech heavy opening just yet, or high stalker count or whatever. Yeah, anyway, so Serral went for normal hatchery timing. I think it was about 17 supply, and he went for his pool and into gas, so he'll definitely be getting certain speed. Yeah, so this is quite a typical opener for both races. You see sOs is in fact going quick double gas. So it's just, well, this is more the typical gas, getting your second gas off the cybernetic score. He had his Nexus first and then the cybernetic score, so yeah, he's not afraid of anything. I'm not too sure, did he actually send a probe? Okay, yeah, you usually have to. So yeah, he's just scouting Serral's base, see nothing's out of the ordinary here. Serral, yeah, as I suspect as well, sOs going for the awesome adept first. Going for the scouting adept. He has not closed off his wall though, so he has to be a bit cautious about that. Serral is only mining one drone in the gas, so I suspect this won't be an all-in for now, but he's going for the third base. But you never know, he might go for a Roach Ravager all-in to break the Protoss's natural. And one thing to note as well over here is sOs has got a normal normal opening here with the double nexus and going for 2 adepts to scout out with those shades. But one deviation over here for normal PvZs, he's actually went for a robo. The bot's facility immediately cues the War Prism, which is quite interesting because this is very quick War Prism and he should be putting down about 3 or 4 extra gateways if he wants to do anything awesome with this. His wall of here is also interesting. This is quite a wide natural opening. Choke point is very wide and a bit larger than most other maps that you'll see, especially in the current ladder. I can't remember which season that is. I think it's season 3 or 4 or whatever. But yeah, the latest one. And there's the opening. See, that's the problem with this opening, where you move all your adepts out. Some lings will get in and they'll destroy some of your probes and get out. So he scouted with the Overlord, he saw immediately saw the War Prism opening, and but the strange thing with sOs is he actually did not make many. Okay, there goes the gateways. So that's very late, because if you want to do anything with this War Prism, he needs to kind of maybe drop the adepts inside them and then wait for the gateways to become warp gates. But yeah, I'm not too sure about this. Okay, so this is just going for a depth drop, and he's probably he's queuing up some immortals. So this is definitely an all-in. Well, most likely. So he's just baiting out some units from Serral. Serral is almost completing his Roach Warren over there. So he kind of knows what's going on, he knows it's adept, and he did see the robo, so he also should know that Immortals are on the way. Roaches are not the incorrect response against Immortals, but they are definitely not so much desired, I would say. I believe if you can get Hydras early enough, they're much better. But Serral knows what he's doing. I mean, he's arguably the best player in the world right now, beating all those Koreans and all the other foreigner players. So yeah, well, what SOS is doing is it's still a very popular build, but it's very, I would say, Wings of Liberty-esque, but of course it flowed over into Hearts as well, or Heart of Swarm. The Sentry Immortal, and that's definitely awesome, and you usually utilize the Ward Prism as well, but not always. So yeah, this is going to be cool. I would say Serral should be fine. He's got Ravages on the way, so he'll break those force fields and then surround with the Zerglings and Roaches. Yeah, he's got no Baning Nest. Usually you also see Banings against this because they're very vulnerable. The Immortals and the Sentries and perhaps the Zealots that will accompany them. But yeah, Serral's response is awesome. He's making a lot of links, which is gonna complement the Ravages. The Ravages are gonna break the force fields, and then the links can surround. So this is also a very good response. So whenever you go against, if you can scout this type of opening by Protoss, even if you just see them going for early expands with Immortals, Immortal play is very susceptible to Banelings and of course the Ravagers, but I definitely like the going Banelings and Hydras, because the Banelings will, yeah, as long as there aren't too many sentries, the Banelings will get inside there and soften up the Immortals and Zealots, and then the Hydras will finish the job. Does not really. SOS is really playing mind games over here. He's going for the third, but you can see he's bulking up his base with. I mean, he's got so many warp kits already. He's bulking up his base with charge. He's getting charge plus 1 attack, Templar Archives. But yeah, actually, it does look as if this is not going to be a fake out. This looked like a fake out push out. So he was baiting a lot of stuff from Serral. You can see it's 7 minutes 20 already, and Serral's only sitting with 55 workers. With Zerg at this point, you'd like to be at almost 70, I'd say, nearly there at least. So he did bait out a lot of units, which are lost drones. But yeah, Serral is still in a stable spot. This is going to be a huge push out by SOS. Looking at the army compositions, Serral's doing the right thing. He's going Banelings, as I also suggested earlier on. Banelings are just gonna complement the Zerglings so much. He's got so many Ravages. I'm very interested to see how these Ravages are gonna do, because I think they're gonna do a lot actually. So many corrosive balls to drop onto the force fields. Okay, there, he's going. Baiting out the force fields, dropping out the corrosive balls. Some Banelings get through. This is excellent defense by Serral. Nothing else going on the map is only this engagement, so we can just see how Serral crushes SOS, and that's game. Just quick notes about that game. As I suspected, the Banelings were eventually gotten by Serral. He did produce the Baning Nest, and he did go. I missed actually which upgrades he got. I believe it would have been maybe melee attack, because he had so many Zerglings. But anyway, so yeah, as we know, SOS is a funky player. He likes to do weird builds and fake outs and stuff like that. Especially nice to do when you are Protoss. So yeah, the gist of that match, and the takeaway I think we should just quickly discuss, is just that SOS did some fake outs. Serral did in fact fall a bit for that, but he does know that SOS likes his mind games, so he probably wasn't too sure whether or not SOS was going for an all-in. So he made the correct units and got enough units out to defend an all-in, but he did not overcommit. You should have seen he did make enough workers. So whenever you're in that situation, it's hard, especially for me as a fledgling Zergs player. I play on like low diamond level, but I'm still struggling to gauge whether or not to make units or not. And oh, I don't want to log into Asia. So yeah, it's hard to get sometimes as a Zerg player, but it comes with experience. But just looking at that game, if you are a Zerg player, just look at that the army composition that Serral made. At 7 minutes, he had a very good army going for himself, and he knew that Serral was pushing up because he saw the Immortals, he saw the Sentries, and the War Prism very early. So try to get a scout in very early on with your Overlord. It's usually about your second Overlord. About 3 or so. I don't wanna make up some numbers here, but I think about 3 minutes in, you want to send in that Overlord, the second one that you made in the game. You want to send him into the Protoss base and just see what he's doing, you know, what he's up to. And then you can probably just do the correct response. If you see Stargate, go for your Spore Crawlers, make enough Queens. I see Queens have made a resurgence recently. They're much more, they're much more prevalent than they were in previous years. I can't remember seeing so many Queens in most of the matchups. So yeah, make enough Queens, make Spore Crawlers, and probably take 2 Hydras if you can. Because the Stargate means the Protoss all in, if at all, will be much later. So you should be able to get to Hydras. I'm not too sure about that though. I don't think everything is set in stone in StarCraft, but you should be able to take 2 Hydras, so you can actually defend against Phoenixes or whatever. Oracles eventually. I'm not saying early on. Oracles come too quickly. Phoenix are only good in a few numbers, but you won't have enough Hydras to defend against a few Phoenix. But what I mean is, later on you'll get enough Hydras to fight against Phoenixes, because they will still be in the Protoss composition, and you'll have a decent composition yourself. Maybe Banelings and Zerglings to complement the Hydras, and then yeah, just go from there. Anyway, thanks for watching this short analysis, and next up we'll look at one of the other group stage games. Yeah, so see you in the next one.